Sarah is dead. Her cause of death? Unknown. An innocent man is wrongfully charged. Injustice can happen anytime, anywhere. It can happen in your community, at work. It can happen to you. It can happen to Richard. But members of the jury, that's the reason why you are here, to prevent that from happening. The only reason why Richard Grouper is in court today is all circumstance. The only reason that connects him to this case is that he is one of the last person who is with Sarah, the victim. Blood is found in his house. Her fingerprints are found in her bag. This is exactly the place I stood during my opening statement, when I promised you that we will deliver testimonies from the neighborhood that could actually support the idea that Richard has a friend visiting with him on that day. I also promised and we delivered that we will show the email that Sarah sent where she said, "He's hitting me again. I'm going to Richard." During the cross-examination, Paul Salman, Sarah's dad, told us and told you that his daughter never lied. And when she said, "I'm going to Richard's house," indeed she never lied. The prosecution is trying to paint you a picture that Sarah is actually forcibly taken to Richard's house against her will. And again, we've shown you the email. The police report the detective actually gave out showed no struggle in Richard's house. We didn't deny that the blood was found in Richard's house, because Sarah entered Richard's house so Richard and his friend could actually take care of or treat her on his beaten face. We did not deny that Sarah's fingerprint is found at the van, because Richard was kind enough to actually offer it to her, because she doesn't want to go back to her house. Why is the van found? The tire tracks of his van is actually found near Sarah's dead body? That is the question that we're going to ask the prosecution. Because even up to this point, we have a lot of questions that have been not answered yet by the government. They are zeroing in on Richard only because of circumstance. But there's another person that is also involved in this case. We have David Macro, who is with Sarah on the night of her death. But they could not actually explain why is David Macro cannot be seen the day after or the same day that Sarah is not found. The government cannot explain where did he go. The government did a lot of investigation. They reached out to some agencies. But that enough to explain where he is? No. How about Sarah's death? Could he be part of this case or in this incident as well? He already got $250,000 from the insurance that Sarah had. He had taken that 1.5 months after her death. 3 weeks after her death, Paul is already planning to go to Hawaii with his secretary. And that's 3 weeks after his wife is dead. Could we not have questions about that? The prosecution is asking you, members of the jury, to prosecute and find Richard Grouper guilty of kidnapping and murder. But we have a lot of questions still hanging in our head. But as to Richard Grouper, he cannot find anything at all. The is located 50 yards from the salmon's house. All salmon is a jaguar. 50 yards is not that big of a deal. Members of the jury, you are tasked with the greatest responsibility. You are here to give justice to an innocent man. I want to remind you that your job is to convict or to find a person innocent. The government's role is to prove beyond reasonable doubt in all the elements that Richard is being accused of. And what is proof beyond reasonable doubt? You've seen all the evidence presented to you. You've seen all the arguments. You've seen all the witnesses. At the end of the day, when you weigh them, and you're having a break at lunch, and then you find out, wait a minute, you have still got questions in your mind. That's not proof beyond reasonable doubt. My client, Richard Gruber, is not having the burden of proving anything. But it is on the government to prove it beyond reasonable doubt. Members of the jury, Richard Gruber is not